Alright, hey guys, I'm just making this video to show you, kind of give you guys a little head start on building your character. This is Fantasy Age, but we're playing, that's the base rules, but we're playing, of course, TitansGrave. In this video, I'm just going to kind of show you a little bit on how to build your character. You can do this using the PDF file, or you can print it out and write it in pencil. I typically just write it in pencil. So anyway, so here we go. So the main core book that you're going to look at first is this Fantasy Basic Rule Book. Okay. So, and you can scroll down. You don't have to worry about the introduction or anything, but what I want you guys to look at first, um, I want you to look at. Okay, we're gonna go to Player's Guide. So here's Player's Guide. Okay, so this is what I want you guys to really pay attention to: making making a character in 9 easy steps. It's pretty easy. Um, so, um, Number one, we're not going to worry about creating a character concept just yet, unless you just have something in mind. What I would do if I were you, I would start with choosing a race and all that good stuff, and then determining your abilities and all that good stuff. So first of all, the three classes that you can be is mage, warrior, and rogue. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do in the game is you're gonna determine. I don't know if you guys can see this. You're gonna determine your stats. These are the 9 stats: accuracy, communication, constitution, dexterity, fighting, intelligence, perception, strength, and willpower. They're mostly pretty straightforward. I'm not going to get into a whole lot of what's going on, but obviously, fighting has to do with your melee weapons, and strength also has to do with melee, while accuracy and dexterity has to do with bows. Or accuracy, dexterity, and maybe perception. I forget, but we'll get into that later on. So, the first thing before you start making your abilities, you're going to go look at. We're going to go look at whatever class you want to be. So we're going to skip over. We're going to skip over all the races and stuff for right now. We're going to skip over the backgrounds, all that stuff for right now. And we're just going to go to classes. Okay, so mage. This is what I'm talking about, classes. So for instance, if you are wanting to start a mage, okay, I want you to look here right at these primary abilities, okay? These primary abilities are what you're going to be using mostly when it comes to mages. So like accuracy, seeing if you can hit them. Intelligence is like your spell power, all that good stuff. So these 4 abilities, these primary abilities on a mage is what you're going to be focusing on. So what I want you to do is willpower, accuracy, intelligence, perception. I want you to go to this your character sheet, and I want you to type in what those were. So and what you're going to do: accuracy, intelligence. So go on accuracy. You see this little box right here? I want you to check that: accuracy, intelligence, willpower, and perception. And perception. Okay. So when you tap these 4, these are going to remind you, these little check boxes are going to remind you what your main abilities are for your class, the mage. Okay. So that's the mage. So let's look at, say you want to be a rogue. Look at this. It's changed. Your accuracy, communication, dexterity, and perception. So then you would go here and then take off intelligence and put communication or whatever. All the ones on here. Okay, so that's for the rogue. Okay, so the same thing, you're gonna do the same thing for a warrior. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so warrior, that's how that's gonna go. Let me see. Okay, so here's your primary abilities for the warrior, and then what it says secondary abilities. That's just everything else. So this is gonna be your main. your main deal for whatever class you are. So figure out what class you want to be. Now, in this game, there's tons of customization. So just because you're a warrior or you're a mage doesn't mean you cannot make your character more interesting. So what we're going to do um, on this one, so first we're going to determine, we're going to skip character concept and we're going to determine our abilities. Okay, so for this game, what I'm going to do, there's a certain the rules in here I kind of don't like in a way. So I'm going to do one that's a little bit easier. I'm going to give you guys 10 points. So 10 points, you choose what you want to do. So um, I'm going to go ahead and just start a mage, okay? So just so I'm rounded out, I might put 2 points on here. Um, just to be rounded out, I'll do this. 2 points, 2 points, and 2 points. Will explain all the numbers like later on once we get a build, but just to start off a character, you can build. So I've got 8 points right here, and I'll throw 1 on communication, and how about 1 on constitution? How about that? And then that's my 10. So just for the base stats, that's how you start it out. So just use 10 of your abilities, and then or 10 ability points, and you add them how you wish. Okay. So that makes sense. So, okay, so the next thing is choose a race. Okay, so in this game, the ones that we're going to be playing, because it's not only the base game, but we're also adding in um, uh, another character. You're going to come down here to race. Okay, so every race has its own sort of flair and what you can do and so on and so forth. So um, you can mix and match if you want to mix and match like a half elf, half dwarf. And if you want to do that, just look at this mixed heritage deal and read that. I'm not going to go over it too much. It's pretty self-explanatory how it works. Basically, you're taking whatever you have to pick a race, and you use that race's dominant abilities, and then whatever. Okay, so dwarf, you have dwarf, and here's like some backstory about the dwarf. Here's some like first off names, and then here's some of your starting stuff. Same thing with the elf. Um, the elves, same thing. You have also gnomes right here. Gnomes, halflings, humans, orc, and so on. And the last race that we have, because we're playing TitansGrave, is the Saurian. Okay, so the Saurian is the one of the races that's used. That's a primary race in TitansGrave. So you can figure out how you want to, if you want to use these guys. Okay. So, but for instance, just for this tutorial, we'll start with using the mage since that's what I was, and we'll go ahead and make a halfling mage. Okay. So let's see. So for instance, if you want, you can write here on your social class. Just go ahead and write halfling if you want. Um, okay, so all right, and you can read the flavor text. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. You can read it on your own. Pick a name. Okay, so male. I'll do a male. Dougal Hornbuck. How about that? Dougal Hornbuck. First name, and here's a family name. So then on the name, I'll go type in Dougal Hornbuck. Okay. Okay, so this is whenever you choose to play a class, you're going to go through this following deal. Okay, so let's if you choose to play halfling, modify your character. So first things first, let's add 1 to our dexterity. Okay, so our dexterity is 0. All right, we got a point, so we went up. Cool. Okay. Now we're going to pick one of these focuses. Okay, so just to give you a quick lowdown on what focuses and how they work in the game. Focuses they apply to your abilities. So for instance, we know that communication is an ability and bargaining is a focus. So for instance, Let's take dexterity because that's a little bit stealth is a little bit easier to explain. So dexterity. Okay, if I wanted to take dexterity, I would do dexterity, and then if I wanted to take stealth, for instance, let's just go ahead and take stealth. Um, Okay, so in this, I'm actually choosing stealth. So pick one of these abilities, stealth. Okay, so how this works is in this game, you have what's called focuses for each ability. So for accuracy, communication, you have tons of focuses. So for stealth, so say I come upon a camp of bandits and I want to stealth around. Well, when I make my roll, rolls usually go a 3d6 plus your ability. So that would be a 3d6. Let's say I rolled a 12. I would add 1 to it, okay, and then that would be 13. Well, when you have a focus, you get to add another modifier. You get to add starting out a plus 2. So for instance, on that same roll of 12, I would roll 12, then I would add plus 1, 13. Then I would get to add, since my focus is stealth, a plus 2. So that means instead of a 13, it'd be a 15. Okay, you get how that works? So and that's pretty much how it is for all focuses in the game. Okay. So next thing we have speed. Speed is equal to 8 plus dexterity minus armor penalty if applicable. So 8 plus dexterity. So I'm going to look at my dexterity. My dexterity is 1. So I'm going to go up here and speed is 9. Does that make sense? 8 plus 1. Pretty easy. It's not too hard. Okay, so then next you can read and speak Halfling and common tongue. So under powers, talents, and specialization, we're going to say speak, and read Halfling, oops, Halfling, uh, whatever, right? Halfling. I think I spelled this wrong too. How do you spell it? Man, I'm terrible. Yeah, okay, I was right. Okay, so Halfling, read and speak Halfling, and common. Okay. So that means in the game, So that means in the game you can, if you come across a text and it's in Halfling, you can read it. Okay. Pretty simple. Okay. So here we have the benefits. Okay. So what you're going to do, I'm going to read this. Roll twice on the Halfling benefits table for additional benefits. Roll a 2d6 and add the dice together. If you get the same result twice, re-roll until you get something different. Okay, so every class has this little benefits table. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to get two dice, and you're going to roll them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and roll. Okay, so I rolled a 7. So then I look on here, 7 plus 8, I add plus 1 to my communication. So then we go on here. It's at 1. Oh, now it's a 2. Cool. Okay. And you're going to do this twice. Okay? So then I'm going to roll. Go ahead and roll again. Okay, so I got a 5. I actually got a 12, but I'm going to cheat in this just to show you how else this works. Actually, no, I rolled a 6. How about that? Make it a little bit different. So if you roll a 6 and it says focus, you gain the willpower, courage. So go back here under willpower. You're going to put courage. Okay, so like if there's a test in the game, and you know that say a monster that causes fear, you can say, okay, well, can I do a courage test, and then then you have that plus 2 modifier. So again, on your courage test, it would be a 3d6. So I'm gonna just go ahead and roll. I got a 13, so a 13 plus your modifier, plus your attribute willpower. So that's 13 plus 2 is 15. But I'm focused and courage, so I get to add another plus 2. So instead of a 15, I rolled a 17. It's real simple, not too hard. Okay, so after you've done 2, okay, now we're going to go back up here. And, okay, so we chose race. Okay, now we're going to choose social class and background. Okay, let's go ahead and scroll down. Okay, you're going to scroll down. Okay, backgrounds. Okay, this is all pretty simple. You can either now. There's 2 ways of doing this. Four social classes. Now how they have it on this is it's random. you can randomize it if you want to. I am more want you guys to do what you want to do. Of course, I don't. I would rather you not do an upper class, just because of course, upper class is going to start off with more money. We don't have to worry about. You guys are going to get plenty of money. Don't worry about money at the beginning. I want you guys to really pick based on what kind of character you want to play. So, if you want, let's just say you're not sure what you're going to do is take 1d6, roll it. So I rolled a 1. I'm an outsider. So then what you're going to do is you're going to, let's see, where's it at? Okay. So then what you're going to do is you're going to come to these. So say you pick outsider backgrounds, lower class backgrounds, middle class backgrounds, upper class backgrounds. Okay. So really, I don't want you guys to pay attention to, dang it. Sorry. Crap. Crap. I don't know what I did. Okay. Sorry. I don't want you guys to pay attention to this side as much. Like, I don't want you to pick based on what the focuses say. I want you to pick based on what this. So you can look, even if you want to just skip to this table and look to see what it is you like. There we go. Okay. So, for instance, you're going to look at the background. So the background you're going to look at, do you want to be a criminal, exile, hermit, pirate, radical, wanderer? The lower class, so this is going to be the outsider class. They're kind of like just on the outskirts of society. The lower class, you're going to be an artist, a performer, someone really low on the social totem pole. The middle class backgrounds, you're going to be a guilder, a merchant, you might be a scribe, a student, an initiate. And then the upper class backgrounds, you're going to be a squire, a scholar, a noble, even. Okay, so pick. So we'll just say that I randomized and that I rolled a 1 for outsider. I'm going to go ahead and roll again just to see what I get. A 6. So I'm a wanderer. So then once you find what you want, you're going to pick the focus. So I kind of like this intelligence navigation. So what I'm going to do is go on my intelligence, and I'm going to put navigation. Oh my gosh, I hope I spelled that right. Yeah, okay. Just making sure. Okay, so that's another focus. So starting off, we haven't really even started working on our warrior slash mage or whatever, and already we got 3 focuses. So that's pretty cool. Okay. So, all right. So, then what we're gonna do? You're gonna come up here and write background. You're gonna write what was I again? Like a sailor or something? A wanderer. You're gonna write a wanderer. And again, you don't have to do this. This is just if you want to. And then halfling, you're also gonna do outsider. It's just to remind you, you do not have to do this. I just like to do it because I like everything nice and neat. Um, because you're gonna really be able to see what you are. Okay, and then for this, you can also you'll see the background description. So we'll go ahead and you got a guilder, you got all the background description, so you can read. I would suggest reading some of these just to maybe give you an idea. We'll go to Wanderer, and so okay, so the open road has, this is for the Wanderer. The open road has always called to you, and you have answered instead of a calling. And you have answered instead of calling a single location home. You regard the entire world as yours. You love to wander, find new places, and meet new people. You rarely get lost, but even when you do, it usually turns out to be an adventure worth experiencing. So that's pretty cool. Starting off as a mage, that makes sense. Okay, so okay, so let's go to the mage. Okay, so the mage is going to be a little bit different. I'm probably going to show you guys in a separate video. I don't know how to set up a mage, but let's go ahead and just finish with the characters itself. Okay, so you're gonna read through this, whichever one you want. We'll just do this guy as a mage. I don't believe this shows anything that we need. Chapter 5 is magic. So if you're wanting to be a mage, remember chapter 5. Um, Specializations will come later. Okay, so starting health. Let's do this. Okay, starting health is 20 plus Constitution plus 1d6. So 20. Okay. So starting health is right here. So my Constitution is 1 plus 20. So that's 20. So it's 21. And then what was that? 1d6? Yeah, it's plus 1d6 to 21 plus. Awesome. So 27. I rolled a 6. So 27 is my starting health. Okay. Easy. Okay, so weapon groups. Okay, with mages you have brawling and staves or stabs, however you want to say it. So right here, down here, you're going to put under weapon groups, um, brawling and staves. And this is just for building this, okay? Um, okay, so then you're going to want to then if you're a mage, you're going to want to look at level 1. So if you're, no matter what class you are, you're going to want to look at all the level 1 stuff. Everything. And it's kind of extensive, so that's why I say that. Okay, so all the level 1 stuff. Okay, so Arcane Blast. Okay, so if you're a mage, this is what your main sort of regular ability is. If you're holding your arcane device, you can make a special ranged attack that damage foes with the magical energy. This is resolved like a normal ranged attack, so stunts are possible, but the attack roll is accuracy. So the attack roll is accuracy arcane blast test. So what that means is your accuracy, okay, is going to be your attack roll. So in this game, you roll 3 dice. Remember how I was saying you rolled 3 dice plus your modifier and any kind of focuses. So your attack roll to see if you even hit the enemy is a 3d6. So I'm gonna roll 3 6-sided dice. I get an 8. Okay. So no, sorry, 9. So I'm gonna say 9 plus 2, which is an 11. So that means without any focuses or anything, my arcane blast will do uh, what did I say? 13 for the attack roll or 12. What did I say? I rolled a 9. 11. 11 for the attack roll. Okay. So then goes to say Arcane Blast has a range of 16 yards and inflicts 1d6 plus willpower damage. Okay. So that means what? So that tells us a few things. So what you're going to do for ranged weapons, here's ranged weapons. Let's go ahead and put, oops. What in the heck happened? Why is that small? That's weird. Okay, I don't know why that's doing that. Man, that is small. What the heck? Why is that so small? Uh, okay. Okay, so, hold on. That is weird. I'm not sure how to make that bigger. Is all of them like that? That's crazy that that one would be the bad egg. Huh. Okay. Um, sorry, this is probably taking too long. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put arcane. I wonder if this is like this. No? Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Arcane Blast. Okay. So that's going to be my ranged weapon. Okay, so my attack roll, this is to see if I hit it. We said is a 3d6. Okay. Plus, and then we're going to look at our accuracy again. A 2. So just our straight attack is going to be a +2. Now, if we had, say, like a focus arcane or something, like an arcane or something, then we could then come over here and add +2. Okay, so you can see where you can start building stuff. But right now, just to start off, that's how that is. Okay, so damage was willpower, so our willpower is 2. So it's at a 1d6 plus 2. Does that make sense? So you're going to roll the attack and see if you hit them. Each enemy is going to have a threshold. If you hit them, then you're going to roll your damage, which you're going to take 1d6. So I got a 5 plus 2, that's 7 damage. Simple. Not hard. Not hard at all. Okay, so your arcane device, if you're going to be a mage, this is basically your device that is um, going to be used. This is just something, just like a little narrative thing. It could be a necklace. It could be anything you want. This is just something, a fun thing of what the device is that you're using, just your straight arcane blast. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead on magic training. This has to do with your spells and stuff, and you can choose different classes. We're gonna skip that for now. Okay, so magic points. You need to use your magic points, MP, to power your spells. That's mana, real simple. To start, you start with the number of magic points equal to 10 plus willpower plus 1d6. So I'll roll a d6. I got 3, 10 plus my willpower plus 3. So that's a 15 if I'm. So yeah, 10, so 15. So MP right here, you're going to do 15. Okay? Okay. Okay, so, and you're going to follow this kind of how it is. Um, you can read this. This is talks about how you regain magic points and how you do other stuff. Okay, then last but not least, you have starting a talent. So this is everybody has, like I said, focuses. Well, you also have to beef up your character talents. So one talent you can do is like chirurgy, which is like healing, linguistics, which is like language, lore, which is solving stuff. So let's go ahead. We're gonna skip magic for right now, and let's go to your talents. Okay. Real quick, let me go ahead, and before I do that, let me go ahead and go through creation. So just if you're going to be a rogue, same stuff apply. I'm sorry, I'm reading. Okay. So your starting health 25 plus Constitution with 1d6. You're going to pick. This is weapon groups that you can use. Um, and then here's some abilities. You get pinpoint attack, which is a certain thing, rogue's armor. Just you can kind of read what that is. It's pretty self-explanatory. Um, yeah, so there you go. The warrior, and what's cool about this game is, look, it shows you all. When you go to next level, it shows you exactly what you get. So it's pretty cool. Warriors, right over here. So you're going to do 30 plus Constitution. Brawling, so this is cool. You get Brawling, plus if you're going to do a warrior, you pick any of the following: axes, black powder, bludgeons, bows. So pick any of the 3 you want. And then starting, you become a novice in the 2 of the following talents: archery style, dual weapon. So this is, you already, so you get to pick 2 talents off the bat. So that's pretty cool. So you also get a novice, and you are also start as a novice in armor training. So you get a bunch of talents starting off as a warrior. Uh, so that's pretty darn cool. Let's see if there's, okay. So that's it for warrior. Warriors and rogues are not as hard as mages to start. Um, okay, so let's go down to okay. So starting equipment, we got to do this. Starting equipment, you're gonna get a backpack, all that stuff. So I'm gonna just straight up copy that, and we'll go to equipment and money, paste. Oh dang! You know what? I forgot to do gold. Starting gold. Dang it. So back at the yeesh. Okay, back at the backgrounds, it'll tell you what classes get what. Start off with. I know it. I know it says it somewhere up here. Um, well, oh maybe. Oh no, maybe it's more down. Sorry. Oops. Maybe it was down. I probably just skipped over it. Okay, so starting equipment. If you are a mage, you get one weapon and an arcane device. So we'll cover weapons here in a little bit. If you are a rogue, you get light leather armor and two weapons. So just remember this. Whenever you're a deal, you may want to just mark a deal. Okay, if you're a warrior, you get heavy armor and three weapons. If you choose a bow, you get a quiver with 20 arrows or bolts. If you have the weapon and shield talent, you get a medium shield. So this is just stuff to keep in mind. So make sure whatever you're looking at, you whatever class you are. Okay, there we go. Starting money. So 15 plus 3d6. That's a 13. So 15 plus 13 is what, 30, 28. I'm thinking. Yeah, 28. So oh, that's silver pieces. So you can put 28 S or SP if you want. You can put 20 silver, however you want. It doesn't matter. We'll probably in ours use gold. So for every 10 silver, that equals one gold. So, anyways, you're gonna do. So I was an outsider. If you're the lower class, you start off with that, and upper class. So you start off with more money as the upper class. So, which makes sense. Okay, your defense. Okay, so this is interesting. Okay, so this is where dexterity comes in. So your defense equals 10 plus dexterity plus any shield bonus if you have a shield. So let's go ahead. 10 plus dexterity minus 2, I think. No, it's 1. So my defense is 11. Now what that means is that whenever an enemy rolls to hit me, they have to roll an 11 or higher to hit me. Okay, does that make sense? On their attack roll. Names, goals, we'll worry about that later. Ties, this is interesting. Stuff that it can tie you to. And y'all can read this if you want. I mean, I suggest it. Okay. We're not going to go over combat. We're just going strictly on character creation. Um, so for right now, oh, let's go to talents. We're going to go. Oh, we're going to skip all this stuff for right now. Chapter 3. Okay. So, so here's where you can see if you so want to just like start planning your focuses. Now remember, focuses are these right here. The stealth right here, that's a focus. This is like accuracy focus, and here's all the stuff for accuracy focuses. So like what's interesting, like remember when I was talking about arcane blast? So you can get a focus arcane blast. So whenever what was that, an accuracy, so I could put arcane blast right here and then get another +2. Does that make sense? So you can, and there's tons of stuff. There's communication, you have deception, disguise, gambling, investigation, constitution, drinking. This is a fun one. If someone goes with this one, I'll definitely be using this one a lot. Initiative. Here's an interesting one. So whenever a battle begins, you roll for initiative, and this gives you a +2 to that roll, so you can start faster. So they have tons of stuff. I'm not going to go through them all. You can kind of read them and figure out what they do. Talents. Okay, so this is a talent. I believe that it said for the mage you get to, or for mostly everybody else, you get to start off with talents. So whenever you're wanting to do a talent, we're going to take animal training, for instance. These are the classes that they are required to do. So mage, rogue, and warrior. There's going to be some where, look, armor training, you can only be a warrior. Okay, so you have to look at the class. If your class is listed here, then you can train there. unless it says a requirement and you don't have it. So you're going to look at the class and then the requirement. So let's go for instance. Okay, here's perfect. Let's say I'm a mage, and I want to do command. Okay, but I also have to have a communication of 2 or higher. So let's look at my communication. Oh, oh wait, no, it is 2. Okay, so I could use that if I wanted to. Okay, so like for instance, say I think command sounds cool, and I'm going to use this one. Okay, so this is a talent. So everybody starts off at novice first, and as you go on to journeyman and master, you get cooler stuff. So let's like read this. Your presence inspires allies. If you take a major action, we'll worry about that in explaining the game combat rules. To make a heroic gesture, raise your sword, shout a battle cry, wave a flag. Your allies gain +1 bonus to willpower courage test for the rest of the encounter. So that's cool. So say you're fighting in a some dark things, and you do this battle cry or whatever. Everybody around you gets a plus bonus to willpower courage test. So that's pretty cool. So let's just say I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's see. You can do this however you want. Um, okay, the talent command, and then you can write um, you can write that down. You can copy that and paste. I would also make a point to do like um, however you want, just a like novice to show that you're novice. You can do that if you want. Okay, so that's talents. Okay, I don't think there's much else that we need to cover. It's pretty self-explanatory. Specializations. This is what I was talking about later on. You can specialize in different things. You can become an arcane scholar, a warrior, berserker, a duelist, a elementalist, a mage, a knight, a guardian. This is pretty cool. Mage hunter, which I think is really neat. Um, so so that's that. But we'll get into all that stuff later. If you guys want to look at Magic and see kind of how it works, um, we'll get into that later. So for your so for this, okay, so like you can do this as well. Mage, level 1, experience points 0. Um, and then armor, if you have any armor, you add that. Add armor type here. So if I wanted leather armor, I'd put that here, and then so on and so forth. Okay. So that's pretty much building this class. Now, there's one more thing I want to go over. Um, by the way, if you get melee weapons, this is where you're going to put your melee. Also, if you just so want to start building your spells, go check out the magic, which is chapter 5 in the main core rulebook, and you can start working on it. Um, yeah. But ask me questions if you have any rules. Okay. So the one thing I want to go over before we so this is the TitansGrave rulebook. Um, and we're going to talk about hold on, I'm sorry, I'm reading. Okay, so right here, this is what I want to talk about. So whenever you get TitansGrave, or whenever you start making your character, I want you guys to look at this one before or as you're building your classes, because in this game, because this one is based more on fantasy. This one is a fantasy sci-fi. So starting weapon groups for rogues. So pretty much belay everything that I said before, like on your character sheets. Put this in: blaster pistols, brawling, light blade staves, and either blaster long arms or bows. Okay, so do this. Okay, starting weapon groups for warrior are brawling +4. So then you can look through here. Okay, warriors add blaster weapon style to their list of available talents. So that's another one. Make sure you have that. If you're a warrior, your starting armor is scout armor. All characters start off with 3 full gen batteries. Okay, so so in here, just so you know what a full gen battery is, um, they're essentially ammo. You have 3 different types. This has 10 charges, this has 20 charges, and this one has like 30 or so charges. I forget. Yeah, no, 50 charges. Okay. So the focuses also, if your class allows you to give focuses, here's some more focuses for here, and mainly what these are, they focus. There are a lot of focus for the weapons like blaster long arms, blaster pistols, advanced driving, computers, piloting, scientific lore. So those are the new, as well as new talents. Blaster weapon styles, a talent. Journal. Okay, so equipment. You can kind of just read over here. Um, this is going to be some of your equipment, but we're going to go over that later. Um, you can kind of read this if you want. And then here's some like equipment that you can get: a handset, a lamp, matches, stuff like that. And then once you get, but I want you to look at this because once you get to Humble Beginnings, Chapter 3, stop. Do not read anymore because that has to do with the adventure and you'll spoil it. So just mainly stick on chapter 2 of this. So chapter 2, that's going to be your bread and butter. So make sure whenever you're building your character, you're looking at both these sheets. Okay, so it might take a little bit to do this. If you have any questions, let me know, um, and we'll hopefully be able to do this. So, anyways, all right, I'll talk to you guys later.